What's good, everybody? I am back in the building. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord, as my sister would say. Oh, Lord, that's what my sister Lovey 2000 would say. I'm telling you, I believe, truly, I believe that people aim to try to, in some kind of way, distract you, deter you, disrupt, upset, confuse you on purpose. I really am convinced of it now. I have had my share of interactions and experiences along the way. Just this past year, 12 little short months and some change have been some very eye-opening experiences that I have encountered with what I think are human beings. Very eye-opening. I'm not shocked. I'm just enlightened and taken aback by some people behavior and their mind, their thought process, and how they respond to their own energy. When you show them the mirror, if you will, when you show them their own actions and you describe their actions to them and let them know how it has affected you, the cosmic meltdown of a temper tantrum that comes out of some people is really disappointing, telling, and it's definitive of confirmation of what I have been saying all this time. Mental illness is real, and crazy people don't know they motherfucking crazy. Now, I'm not sure where to start with this one, because I try my best to stay far away from delusional folk. And it just seemed like no matter how hard I try to do that, one or two will sneak in there, Now, where were I? Yeah. People and their delusion. A couple of them slip in there every now and then. And, I do this because I'm learning more and more on how to protect my energy cipher. And I'm sharing, for those of y'all ignorant motherfuckers who sit up and say, I think I know everything, and I think I'm so perfect, and I'm a fraud, I'm a fake. I'm doing this because I want to share it so that I can help other people protect their energy cipher too. And the main ones talking shit about me are the main ones who have tried to slip underneath the door with their hat on too. So fuck you and the goddamn horse you rode in on with your fake ass. Now back to what I was saying. It's easy to pontificate and say, don't do this and don't do that. Watch out for this and watch out for that. That makes it seem like it's just a disconnected person observing from on high who ain't never been through shit. And frankly, I don't want to take advice from nobody who ain't never been through a goddamn thing. And definitely don't have any respect for what someone has to say who has this haughty mindset that they can poke fun at and fuck with other people who are going through whatever they're going through in life. They can sit on, Miss Mary's tuffet, like Miss Mary Muffet and shit, and they don't never go through shit. A lot of the ones who do that are either already, lunatics, and they collect a crazy check, and then they have a man or a woman already taking care of them, so they don't have to pay a bill or get up and go to work every day. They don't know what it's like to get laid off of work. Anything that they have started in life, they quit or ran off because it was too challenging, or they were scared, or they let their demons get in the way. So now they sit back in the bushes, being taken care of. Somebody else is funding their life for them while they look down their nose and cherry pick other people to fuck with and talk about and make light of their misfortunes. Yet they cheer on the very same type of people who they claim they turn their nose up to: freeloaders, liars, manipulators, and such. These are people who you have to fucking watch out for. And if you have not ever come in contact with any of these goddamn people in your life, you're either A, a liar, or B, you're so sheltered that you don't never leave the fucking house and interact with nobody, because these people are every fucking where you go. And again, they will slip in under the door with their hat on if you don't be careful. Now, with the situation in the forefront of my mind right now that I just went through, I don't know if I want to laugh or cuss, because it's almost comical, yet at the same time I'm a little perturbed. But I'm learning, because I didn't waste a lot of time on it, which is good. And just made more room for me to be able to maneuver and put something else in its place. So, delusional niggas and their dysfunctional supporters. That's where I'm at. And when I say delusional, I mean people who are detached from reality. When I say delusional, I mean people who cannot take ownership of anything they do. When I say delusional, I mean someone or a group of people who are always playing the victim after they throw a rock, hide their hand, tossing stones in glass houses, and then they get backed into a wall, or their own bullshit catches up to them, and then they want to holler and scream about how everybody is picking on them and they haven't done anything to anybody at all to deserve any of the energy that they receive in return. And I keep saying over and over and over, karma has everybody's address. Everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a good person and you try to do right and treat people right. It doesn't matter if you're a filthy, nasty, rotten, spoiled person who has a fucked up attitude, fucked up view on life, and just fucked up all the way around. Karma has everybody's address. Everybody's address. And it's really an eye-opening experience to see karma come full circle. It's amazing to watch, and many times very painful to watch. And it's about 3 or 4 or 5 instances right now that I've seen. And this ain't on YouTube. This ain't got nothing to do with these stupid ass YouTube niggas. Karma is eating that ass up, and this is real life. And it's not necessarily anybody that has done something to me, you know, because I don't wish bad on nobody. I really don't. I'm just not that type of person. I don't pray for or send energy to anybody unless they fuck with me and I'm protecting myself and my family. Then I'm gonna pull out all the stops. However, from day to day, people doing such shit all the time that is offensive, vile shit, you know, and I don't wish bad on anybody, you know, because we all have our struggles and our demons and our, you know, things that we have to work through to try to straighten out, to improve the quality of our lives as best we know how with the tools that we was given, if any. But there are those among us who are just useless eaters, and they like to waste your time. They like to see if they can pull you outside of yourself and do the unthinkable, or the things that you say that you are not in support of doing, things that you would not do if you were not connected to this person. So, you know, these are opportunistic people, some of them, not all of them. And then there are those who are very confused. You know, they don't really know what they want to do or how they want to spend their time or how they want to approach you. The confused ones are who I'm really, really leery of, because, you know, I've had several people come out the woodwork and approach me with feelings and emotions that they were holding. And I had no idea. No idea these people were feeling what they were feeling. One particular person, you know, I once looked at as a very wise person, you know, and had respect for his, you know, insight and abilities to, you know, unravel the truth and see through, you know, things, see through bullshit, if you will. And recently, you know, this particular person downloaded a whole lot of feelings on me, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with it because it was a surprise. And one thing about these kind of men that I've noticed is, if you listen to them, like I say, listen between the lines. If you listen to them talk normally, they sound like they have it all together. And then, you know, when they're faced with a challenge on to how they feel or what they've expressed to you, they express it to you as if you are required to do something about how they feel. That's the tone that I picked up on. And I got my confirmation a couple of weeks ago based on their response to me when I approached them with something that had nothing to do with their feelings. Now, this particular person, you know, in listening and observing this person, they have a history of choosing highly incompatible people to try to be of assistance to. I guess I could say assistance, or I don't know. I'm assuming that there was some interest in that last connection that he had, and it just didn't work out. And it really rubbed him the wrong way, which is totally understandable. However, at the same time, in expressing his feelings and emotions and thoughts to me concerning me, that confused me, because I'm like this: if you already in a situation with someone, whether it's dysfunctional or happy or peaceful or whatever, and you are harboring something for someone else, you know, that can get a little dangerous. That can get a little dangerous. And especially when I have no idea what the hell is going on with you. And then when I find out, I was a little bit shocked, you know, had no idea. Because I've known this brother for a little while now. You know, it's been a good while that we've been connected, and, you know, we have a decent rapport. And for the most part, you know, I trust him. However, you know, I've had some changes in my life, and I felt like we were back in high school after certain things occurred in my life. I got a lot of really, I'm just, you know, just from my point of view, some nasty grams from other guys, you know, when I had some new developments in my life. And the tone to these messages, like I said, was as if I was supposed to do something about how they felt in conjunction with the new developments in my life. You know, they were offended by these certain changes that you know, I'm going through in my life, which is my fucking business. And this particular dude who just exploded in my inbox, then he went and blocked me for a while. And he unblocked me and refriended me. And so he was describing to me what he was going through with a particular female who wound up being a freeloader. And however unfortunate that is, you know, that is not my fault, not my problem, not my choice. You know, I didn't have anything to do with that decision. And me personally, I'm not going to involve myself with someone who already has their hands full with a situation that they didn't think all the way through. That's not my responsibility either. Nor is it my responsibility that you had these feelings and you couldn't find a way to productively tell me without having a fucking meltdown on social media and in my inbox, to the point where you block me, unblock me, and then refriend me. And I'm supposed to understand what the fuck is going on with you, but you don't want to pick up the phone and discuss it like two adults. Yet you always are portraying this role as an adult. You say people should be able to talk like two adults. You have long diatribes that you post on Facebook talking about what adults do and how childish things are. But you can't just talk to me and tell me what's on your mind. So then we have a separate situation that I approached him about. And yet again, I get an emotional meltdown and basically, giving, the middle finger. Like I have, committed some type of felony or something, I'm like, okay, wow. So because I didn't how you felt earlier this year, according to the way you wanted me to, now later this year, I'm coming to you about a different subject. So it's fuck you now, because when I wanted your attention before, you didn't give it to me. That's basically what it boils down to. That's basically what it boils down to. And I have had that happen to me several times this year. Another male, I have a deeper history with. And this particular person felt that somehow they were slighted as well because I just was not in the mind frame they were. All of this was a secret and it just came out of nowhere. And I just don't understand where all the anger when somebody tells you they are not in the same mind state as you are. They cannot reciprocate the same feelings as you feel. I don't get where all the anger and the twisted, delusional, emotional hissy fit come from. I really want somebody to help me with that. I don't get it. And when y'all do that to people, you make them step back from you and go and look at you with the side eye. I look at both of these brothers differently now because I really did not see that coming. That was a curveball for me, and it's really hard for me to trust and, intermingle with people anyway, because I'm a typical Virgo. I'm a hermit. I like to mind my own business. I like things organized. I have OCD. You know what I'm saying? It's certain shit that I like a certain way, and that don't jive well with everybody, And, I like to keep my circle small, my intimate circle small. I don't have a lot of people around me all the time. I'm often with my family, and by myself because I enjoy my own company, and I have a very selective way of choosing who I let into my home, and my life and things like that. Online, it's a little different, because there's that barrier somewhat of protection, if you will. You can kind of talk, network, and try to get to know people. Even on here, you have to be so careful because clearly people are nuts and they take an inch and try to make a mile, 10 miles with it. You give them an inch, they take 10 miles. We saw that last May all the way up till goddamn 2 days ago, probably. I don't know. Motherfucker been talking about me in his sleep over some shit. He say, she say shit. All because he couldn't express himself the way he wanted to. And then when he did, there was nothing done, reciprocated. And now, of course, it's fuck you, bitch. Just like the typical, you walking down the boardwalk, dude try to holler, you not interested, fuck you, bitch. That's how it is. That's what it boils down to. These two particular dudes, you know, it's cool when you are reciprocating the way that they want you to. And then when your life as a woman takes a change, or you alter your energy and decide to spend it on somebody else that's not them, then they have a problem with that. I mean, rejection is part of life. And both of these brothers is in their 50s, okay? And you would think by that stage and age and life, one would understand that rejection is part of life by now. And every time and everything you want, you can't have. Every situation is not going to go your way. Just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean the other person will or has to, or, you know, will reciprocate those same feelings, you know. And I don't know, I guess we could say this till we blue in the face, but it's not just me, you know. I have seen this happen with other sisters who have come to me and been like, you know what, Queen, how do you handle this shit when this happens? You know, and at the time, it hadn't happened to me yet. You know, not to the magnitude that I have seen on goddamn YouTube and Facebook. It wasn't until I opened up social media back in 2009 did I realize this is the jungle of mental illness on social media. In 2009, I noticed and recognized that right away. This is the jungle of mental illness, okay? Sanity, being mannerable, anything of that nature is nil here. So to all y'all newcomers to this social media, especially YouTube, Google, whatever, this is the jungle of dysfunction. Don't expect people to be polite and have goddamn manners and home training here. And you be careful who you decide you want to date or hold in any type of relationship status with these people. Be careful, because you can open up a portal for the devil to latch on to you, for you never to be seen again. Nobody is above it happening. And if you don't be careful, these niggas will weave a web and tell lies and force you into their hell if you don't be careful. I used to tell my daughter that all the time. Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you tell your personal business to. Be careful who you share certain things with. There is a level of trust that you can test by using certain information with certain people. You can share XYZ over here, and then you go over here to this group and share ABC. And if XYZ and ABC come together, you know who's the snitch. You know who can't hold water. You know who has big mouth. So you have to be so very careful who you talk to, what you say, and who you say it to. You know? But it always takes me to a place of weird when I see a grown man tell me how they feel and then have a temper tantrum behind it when they don't receive the same reciprocation, the same feelings, or reciprocated feelings, I should say. You know, and it's almost disappointing to see how juvenile some males can respond to not getting their way, you know. And that just shows you how society has programmed our males with self-entitlement, you know. And females do it too, you know, but I'm a woman, so I can only talk about the male energy I get from certain people who express themselves to me in this way. And if I revisit, go back and talk to these people later about a different subject matter, they have a really, really standoffish attitude, and it's very telling. So yeah, I just was lost in meditation for a quick second, because it's amazing how people can turn things around to give themselves the upper hand, and when they don't know the complete situation, you know. And they can make assumptions because they're upset, and their vision or their comprehension might be clouded based on just what they see on the surface. So then these same people who have these feelings or whatever it is they think it is, when they don't get what they want, then they turn, and it's distant and awkward. Yet these are the same people who tell you, hey, you know what? We can discuss anything. We can talk about anything. We can, you know, we're all adults here. You know? It's very telling. Very, very telling. So I just wanted to share that particular instance because, you know, you have to be very careful, very, very careful who you allow into your intimate cipher. You know, a lot of people are very delusional, you know, and they think they know you from social media or whatever. They think they can see into your psyche or your persona or what have you. They think they can peg you, you know. You hear a lot of men say, I read women well, I know women real well, but yet they treat every woman they meet the same way, you know, and they clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they don't know how to read women at all. They don't even know how to read themselves. And when they don't get their way with the particular women that they target, you know, then, you know, the onslaught of either insults, if they're really juvenile, they do insults. We see that. If they have the persona of being mature, a tinge of immaturity jumps out because they assume things and they don't know, instead of asking, you know, and having a conversation like two adults would do. You know, it's telling. because I'm open for conversation with anybody who act like they have good sense and truly want to have a discussion for learning purposes. What I'm not open to are people who just want to pry, poke, and prod into my personal business just because they're curious and they are bored and they have nothing else better to do, and they just want to try to garner information to see if they can spread it around and cause a lot of bullshit and drama and spread rumors, lies, or whatever. That, you know, and I'm very, you know, I can discern the difference. I know the difference, and I'm very defensive, so I stay on guard anytime anybody has an onslaught of personal questions for me that they feel like I must answer, or they feel like I'm obligated to talk to them and tell them my personal business. I am very leery of, because they're not going to take that information and do anything with it but something horrible, you know, and that, you know, their reaction to you telling them none of your business will define their true intent. So, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, Roxy. How you doing? And hello, Madam Whipbass. One second. So, yeah. And the second guy, you know, that I just basically had to force out of my life, finally, who seemed to think that I was his property, I guess. I don't know what you want. I mean, I can give you my email. That's all I could do. Yeah, so the second guy, you know, thought I was his property, and I asked him to please refrain from posting certain things that were disrespectful and just a nuisance. They were not disrespectful, it was just a nuisance. It was annoying, and I asked him not to do it. And just out of respect for my current situation as well, you know, just don't do that, because it's rude. It's very rude. So that caused him to feel some kind of way. He was offended by that, and I had to unfriend him. Then, because he realized I unfriended him, somehow that made me a bad person. Even worse, because he didn't get his way. So, to keep the bullshit down, I unfriended him and I stopped talking to him. However, I guess he would wake up in the middle of the night or whenever he felt the urge to, and whenever it bothered him, he would come up with these long, diluted, warped, one-sided accusations of how he felt so betrayed, which was zero personal accountability to anything that he had contributed to the reason why I cut the cord. And when people cannot own up to their portion of why things fall apart, I have a problem with that, because usually those are people who will constantly wear on you and pull on you and try to manipulate you out of using your own mind. That second guy is really very mentally damaged. That's another way you could tell how a person will be if you decide to link up with them on any level. It don't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be a friendship, whatever, business. It doesn't matter. I prefer to be friends first with anybody that I connect with and try to organically grow a connection. And if it doesn't seem to be gelling together, you know, I'm one for gracefully backing away so that you can still be cordial and kind to each other without any hard feelings or any hurt feelings. Sadly, you know, lots of Black folks don't know what grace is. They don't want you to end anything gracefully. They have to make everything as ugly as possible because they can't control you. For the most part, in a nutshell, that's basically what it is. I didn't get what I wanted from you. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Regardless to what you want, regardless to how you feel, regardless to how you want your life to go, I didn't get what I want, so it's your fault, and now I'm gonna shit on you as much as I can until either you change your mind or it comes to the breaking point where, you know, you just have to mentally, physically, and every other spiritually block this person out of your life and get rid of them, cut them off. You know, I've always asked, why me? Like when stuff like that happens, I often ask, why me? Like, why me? Like, why did you pick me? I just want to know. It's not a trying to play the victim. It's like, why the hell all the people in this world? Why me? Like, don't you think I want peace just like you? Don't you think I want to be happy? Why come over here with that shit? I'm the least, you know, interesting person. Why you over here? You know what I'm saying? I'm boring. I like to be quiet. I like to do quiet shit. You know, I'm weird. You know, the things that I like are not mainstream shit. Like, now I'm not a twerker. I'm not a dick sucker. I'm not you know, a hood booger. I'm not none of the mainstream type of stuff that these niggas these days like. I am a wallflower. I'm just chilling. I like to be cool, even, calm, chill. What the fuck? Why you fucking with me? You know? Pick one of these exciting motherfuckers that like to twerk and suck dicks and do all kind of crazy, wild shit. That's the kind of motherfuckers y'all like. Go pick one of them. Leave me alone. I'm chilling over here, minding my own business, being a nerd, reading books and shit, going to school, getting degrees and shit, and being a bookworm and a motherfucking nerd and a techie and a geek and shit. Why are you fucking with me? I don't have dick sucking skills. I don't have no ass to twerk. You know, I ain't got no titties to clap. I don't have none of that shit. Just leave me alone. You know, I just want to be left alone. Let me ride my fucking bike and damn knit and shit. I'm not exciting. I'm not an exciting person. I like to do arts and crafts and cook in the kitchen and shit. And, you know, I like waxing my car and detailing my shit. You know, I like going outside, digging in the garden. I'm not an exciting person. You know? I don't know what these niggas think they gonna get when they come fucking with somebody like me. You know? I'm very, very closed off. I like people and then I don't like people. You know? And it's always the weirdest motherfuckers who step to me. And then when I'm like, you know what? I'm not interested. I'm cool. You know, I'm at a point in my life where, you know, I'm not in the realm or in the market for that right now. You know, I got to get some things straight with me first. You know, then I move on to that when I'm ready. You know, and that's what dude number 2 was doing. He was trying to force me, you know, to be ready for what he wanted, you know. And that's another thing. That's why I say these people is confused, you know, because They say they want somebody who got their priorities in order. They express what they want from you. You tell them, you know what, I can't provide you with that right now, brother, because my situation ain't right. And if my situation ain't right and we come together, then I'm gonna fuck up your situation because my situation fucked up right now. So I got to fix my shit. Then maybe we can holler, you know, a little bit later down the line. Tell like, well, give me some time, get my shit together. You know, so I don't bring you down. No, that ain't good enough. They gonna make you say yes anyway. You know, I just had another nigga, but you know, a couple months ago, asked me out on a date. No, sir, I'm busy. I got a lot on my plate right now. Can't do that. Thank you for the invite. Every other fucking day. If it wasn't an email, it was a text message. If it wasn't a text message, he was easing around the corner. Nope, not interested. Nope, not interested. And then it was like, well, you know what? It's got to be a time where you're going to say yes. If I'm not interested in you, well, who are you interested in? Do you have a man? That's none of your business. You got to change your mind soon. If you got a man, I'm going to make you fire him. You know, they don't know how to take no for an answer. And then, you know, I did my other stream about the lurking nigga. You know, about the lurking one who 7 times I had to tell this nigga no. And then it became, you think you better than me. I don't want to talk to you no way. Y'all be careful is all I got to say. Some delusional folk in the world. And it make them act crazy when they can't get what they want from you. That's why I say everybody who say they love you don't deserve you. Everybody that say that they love and care for you don't have good intentions for you. You know? Everybody that say they want a piece of your time or, you know, get involved with you in your life some kind of way, just want to be a part of your life, that ain't always right up your alley, you know? I mean, I had a dude 12 months try to convince the whole wide world that I was chasing him. You know? And I didn't even know he was interested until it was, you know, well, he told me, you know, but I didn't know it was that goddamn deep until I seen his reaction to the fact of me. I had dated somebody else. Hey, Ryan, good to see you. And just because I had dated another dude, the nigga had a fucking meltdown. And instead of just admitting and saying, you know what, I'm pissed off that you've moved on and you found somebody that you actually like and it wasn't me. Just admit it. You can't admit it. You'd rather assassinate the woman's character, call her all kind of names, you know, spread lies and rumors, have people help you spread lies and rumors, all to protect your ego and your pride. It's good to see you. I missed you. I needed to see your face. I'm just, you know, I'm just venting, you know, and I'm starting to take a little bit more of a healthy selfishness in life. You know, I give my time and energy to a lot of people, you know, and I've given so much to where it's hurt me, you know, in the long run. It's put me in positions that I shouldn't be in because I'm giving so much of myself, my time, and my resources. You know, and this is a lesson for me too, you know, because I'm just, you know, trying to pull it back together and press the reset button, you know, because like they say, you know, you give till it hurt. And then when it hurts, you get to back up off your ass and look around. Ain't nobody there to help you when you hurt, you know, but I don't look at it as it hurting. It's just something that, you know, my big heart, I got myself into it. I have a healthy accountability for what I do. So it's not really painful. It's just difficult. You're right. I hope you safe from those storms. But you said, Ryan said, I feel you. Don't stretch too thin. That's how you look like smashed asshole. That's true. That's how I'm looking right now, about right now, but it's cool. I'm a survivor. I've always been a survivor. And, letting people talk me out of what I know better, for myself. Oh, you need to be a little bit more nicer to people. You need to give people a little bit more benefit of the doubt. Listening to that shit, thinking, maybe I am a little too strict. Maybe I am a little too tight. Maybe I need to, just be a little bit more, open, and it led me here to what the journey that I'm on now, the path I'm on now. But it's good. What goes up must come down. And, when you gotta climb back up that ladder, you remember those lessons on the way back up, So it's all good. I'm a big girl. I know what's up. I know reality from fiction. Hey, psychedelic. Love you too. I'm a big girl, and I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I don't ever feel that, I have to live in a diluted state in order, for me to get by. It is what it is. People will do what they do, and it ain't nothing that we can do about it but try to, sidestep the motherfuckers that's coming at us with, a dagger. And we have to keep a rear view mirror in focus for those that is coming up behind us, So it is what it is, and I've never been one to blame anybody else for a predicament that I put myself in. I know what I need to do. Right. I mean, we need more Medine. Yeah. Too much entitlement in this world of people thinking someone owes them something. I feel this, I feel that. Yeah, you're right. People need to own up to that shit. And it's funny how those very same people who feel like they're entitled to your time and everybody else's your time, they the ones sitting, pointing the finger going, you're not a victim. And you know who I'm talking about, Ryan. So I'm not even going to go there. But you're right. There's no... people don't want to ever own up to what they do. They want to minimize their part in everything, and they want to play victim when you or when they're confronted with the energy that they put out there. Why are you not prepared? Right? You done weathered the storm. Now it's time to start preparing, because it's gonna be another one. It's gonna be another one sooner or later, and more time sooner than later. Because people like to start shit on purpose nowadays. It's not just the occasional, drama here and there. People like to gossip, dish a little bit. People like to start shit on purpose now, and then turn around and say it's your fault. As soon as you check them, as soon as you catch them up and say, you're not finna do that. You're not finna get away with that. Yeah, I see what you're doing. I see what you tried to do. And I'm sorry, sweetie. You're not finna do that to moi, okay? No can do. Next thing you know, you all type of motherfuckers, every type of asshole, some bitch under the sun, because you did not allow them to abuse you. Or they take one of your vulnerabilities and try to use it against you ongoing. Like that, you always gonna be in that situation. You always gonna be in, every time they turn around, you always in that situation. And it's just not true, and that's what guy number 2 tried to tell me, but he has the history of allowing women into his life that are users, and then have the nerve to pontificate to me, who he labels as a good woman, going for men just for their looks and not they're, you know, sharing their resources to help us out while we in relationships with these guys, which is couldn't be furthest from the truth. And had he sat down and talked to me, you know, we probably wouldn't have had that discrepancy. And now I look at him with the side eye because he's not as level-headed as he would like me to believe or like people to believe. And that's unfortunate because he's a good guy. Exactly. People need to be the leaders of their own lives. You can't stay in a perpetual state of being the victim. That's why whenever I do have a need and I have to reach out for help, because we all need help every now and then, you know, and whenever I do have to reach out for help, I'm willing to work for whatever it is I ask for. You know, I'm barter and trade. Look, I need this. If you can do that for me, I can do this for you. That way we even and you don't feel like you handing shit down to me. And if we can't barter and trade it up, then, you know, look, give me X amount of time and I'm going to, you know, compensate you for what you did for me, you know, whatever, you know. And that's another thing, you know, these motherfuckers on here think they know you just because they see into one dimension of your life through social media. And they may have caught you in a particular time in your life where you're going through a series of struggles. And sometimes negative shit happens in waves, one thing after another after another. And finally, when you knock down all of that drama, people start to look at you and say, well, she always got some shit going on. No, I don't. That was a time where you caught me where I was battling the damn devil. And that motherfucker was throwing so many goddamn curveballs at me until you standing on the outside looking in would think your life is filled with drama, when really it's not. That was just a segment of that year that I was going through hell, literally taking a stroll through the fiery furnace of hell, because I had a lot of people in my life that I was helping. And one person helping 3, 4, 5 people who don't have shit, that's a big burden to bear. And when you don't see behind the scenes, behind that curtain, you don't know what the fuck is going on. It's easy to assume, you know? It's easy to assume. So I'm just here to share that with y'all because, you know, thank you, Roxy. I appreciate you very much, and you already know what's up with that. So just, you know, I really love you and I thank you very, very, very much. But yeah, just, you know, I want to share this because we have to be so careful. Ryan says all life is a series of problems, one then the other and the next, until finally we die. We allow people into our lives, therefore then we need to be not only the leaders but also the gatekeepers. That's true. Welcome back, Psychedelic. I'm glad you came back. And that's true. I agree with that too, Ryan. I mean, that's what I tell my children all the time. I tell people who come to me, you know, in our business, we do our spiritual business, we do, you know, you ain't never gonna have 100% of peace. I don't know nobody that walks the face of this planet in this realm alive today, breathing with 2 eyes and a mouth to speak, that don't never have no goddamn problem. If you do, then I need you to come over here and show me the fucking manual. Okay? Because when you have a family, when you have certain friends, when you have when you interacting with society, you gonna have some goddamn problems. Okay? It is what it is. And some people handle them better than others. Some people are attracted more so than others. I know I attract crazy motherfuckers. I'm working on trying to figure out how to get rid of that attraction to where crazy lunatic ass niggas is just drawn over here to me. For some, I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. Been trying to figure out ever since I was 32 years old. I did, Roxy. Thank you, love. Thank you. You are so amazing. Now, I keep asking the Great Spirit and the gods and the deities to give me the sight of figuring out what it is that makes these crazy niggas attracted to me. Why? And I'm like, what am I doing? Am I too friendly? Do I smile too big? Should I put on darker shades? Should I not take a bath? I mean, what is it that I can do to deter that crazy energy away from me? It's not just dudes, it's women too. I attract crazy ass women too. And they just want to latch on to me until there is nothing left. And I refuse. I go down swinging. Okay, I refuse to let somebody kill me. I refuse. I'm not going to let no crazy motherfucker kill me, you know. And now that I have surrounded myself with very beautiful people who like to reciprocate, not just take, they give too without expectation. And it's a beautiful thing. Now that I have that in place in my life and it's growing and manifesting in a beautiful way, I have noticed that the users are pissed because I'm surrounded by people who are truly wanting to protect me and help me see a better part of myself, if that makes sense. You know, Ryan can attest to that, because when I met him, he was like, oh, honey, you need to get rid of these motherfuckers right now. And that's exactly what I did, because he's a seer too. And I had lots of snakes around me when I came on social media. And a lot of them revealed themselves as soon as he stepped in. I mean, he could tell you right there in the chat what happened. So, you know, it is what it is. That's the past. But that's just one example. You know, Ryan says we all have a perception of what hell is and how it relates to our life. We need to just learn to figure out the issue. That's, ooh, you speaking up now, nephew. I'm telling you. This young man here has been here before like 6 times. You would never believe that, you know, he is the age that he is. I'm not going to tell your age. I'm just saying he's a younger person, you know, and I'm very proud of him, and I wish I was like him. I do. I wish I had the tools that he had. I don't know if his mama gave him those tools or if life gave him those tools, just going through trial and tribulation. But this young man has really got his shit together, and he is making some moves in life. He's very smart, very talented in many different ways, and just has been a blessing to me. You know, just to know him and be able to talk to him when I can, because he's moving so fast lately. I can't get a conversation in beyond, hey, how you doing? But he's a busy young man and he's doing good things. That's why I don't take it to heart, because he's working on himself, and his backstory is heartbreaking. And for him to see him standing here, still moving, still pushing, still working, I want your autograph, damn it, and I want some notes on how to do it, because he's just a wonderful, wonderful young man, very, very, very special to me. He's a spiritual nephew, if you will, and he has helped me through, see things that I didn't see, and things that I did see, he helped confirm them. So he's a very accurate reader. And he has Path of Spirit on Facebook. I'm plugging him, even though he haven't had time for it. But I'm plugging him anyway, because we all need more than one stream of income coming in. So if you want a good, accurate reading, you can get it from Brian or me. You know, he don't play neither. He just like me when it comes to his time and his money and doing the right thing and helping people. He don't play. So, you know, he gonna get right to the meat. And if you don't like what the fuck he said, then go on about your business. That's how we do. But I'm very proud of Ryan. I give people their props when it's due. And I just love him. I love him like he were my blood, like my blood nephew. So that's what it is. Ryan is very wise. I listen to him. I don't care if he's younger or older. He is very wise and he can see shit, you know, and I trust him to look into my spirit. You know, he's very, very, very honest. And that's what I love, you know, is honesty, even if it's just not something we want to hear. You know, I'd rather hear ugly truth than, you know, somebody lie to me. Don't stroke my ego. Don't do that, because I'm be pissed, you know. But yeah, you know, hell is what we make it. And hell is right here in this realm. Sometimes, you know, you can build your own hell by getting in your own way and fucking up your own life, or allowing people in who are destructive and destitute, emotionally bankrupt individuals, and create hell for yourself. You can let your children create hell for you. I've been down that road many times before. You can let your spouse, your partner, you know, do that, you know, for you. You can fuck up your own shit, you know, by the choices you make. And it does not help anybody in any way for you not to own up to what the fuck you did. That's just the best way I could put it. It doesn't help the situation. It doesn't help the other party involved or parties involved to be in denial and live in denial, especially when you know you enjoy trying to shit on folk and you get backed into a corner with your actions. And before you know it, you're like, oh, but what did I do? What did I do that? Like Steve Urkel. You know what you did. And it's an insult to my sensibilities and my intellect for, you know what you did. You know how you did it. You know that it was you who initiated it. And now you want to play the victim when I come down on you with these teeth. And I bite into your ass with the truth. Thanks, Roxy. I love you guys. Really, I really do. And it's amazing because you, Ryan, Psychedelic, a couple other people that are not here right now. You know, I feel like I've known you all my life. I'm just real. You know, spirit. You can't put a time frame on a spirit. You can't say, oh, well, honey child, you just met me. You don't know me, but I know your spirit, though. Your spirit tells me everything I need to know. I don't have to see you. I don't have to know you for 55 years before we know each other. You feel me? I know your spirit. I know that. I know when you can tell me the truth, I listen. When you give me wisdom, I listen. I'm not above reproach. You know, a lot of people get an ego. Well, I'm older than you. You can't tell me shit. My mama is like that. And it got her where she is now, miserable, 75 years old, still in the same place, in the same spot in life, period. Upset, pissed, jealous of everybody else that is living and not existing. So I don't have to know you like that to know your spirit. You know, Great Spirit gave me the gift of insight. You know, he gave me the gift of empathy. You know, and I say he because we are humans. Okay. Great Spirit gave me these gifts. And I was told to use them. And I use them not just for other people. I use them for myself too. And this journey that I'm on now is teaching me better how to protect my cipher. Because I have a soft spot. I'm an empath. Empathic people are very generous and they're very soft-hearted. We don't like to fight, fuss, and argue, but we got fight in us. And we will whoop your ass if we have to. Just because we have soft hearts and generous spirit and we try to be kind and sweet as much as we can, that don't mean we weak. That don't mean we punks. That don't mean we won't pull out a shank and fuck you up. I keep telling these people that. They don't listen. And they keep coming for people like that, like me, like Ryan. Ryan had his bout with people coming for him too. Same thing. I know, Roxy, so have you. Psychedelic, so have you. We have people come for us because they think they can take us down. And then when we bark back and our bite is worse than our bark, guess what? That make you the bad guy. It's like we've been talking about. So I know you because I know your spirit and I feel it right here next to me. I feel it. I know when somebody mean well for me. I know when they care truly, you know, and I know when somebody ain't shit. And I know when they being kind and sweet because they want me to drop my guard and lower my standard and lower my esteem and tell them all my business so they can go and shit on me somewhere else. I know the difference. You know, that's why they call it psychic. We know what the fuck you doing before you do it. Why you think that last little issue there with that last little person didn't pan out and they made a fool of themselves? You know? Are we perfect? No. Sometimes we don't listen to our intuition. Sometimes we let our guard down and go, you know what? Let's try this. Even though I don't feel quite good about it, I'm going to try it anyway. And we get fucked up too because we're human. We're people, you know, and healers need healing too. And this is where my healing is coming in with these people, not just from I got my past and my present right here. Ryan, I've known ever since I got on social media. I just met Psychedelic on social media. Same thing with Roxy. But I feel like I have known these people forever. And they are some of the most beautiful people that I have ever talked to. You know? Beautiful people. And that's all it takes is for us to sit down and connect the spirit. Stop trying to fuck each other. Stop trying to take advantage of each other. Stop trying to screw each other over. Stop trying to have sex with each other. Stop trying to trick each other. Stop trying to paint a picture of yourself that ain't there, that's not real. All you got to do is have a conversation and you'll figure out who really truly love you for real. And then don't take that shit for granted. Once you find love, it can come in the form of a sister, a brother, a cousin, a nephew, a lover. It don't always have to be romantic. Love comes in many forms, you know, and we have this tool of social media to where we can stay connected. And instead of trying to connect up and help each other, we sitting up here trying to destroy each other's lives, humiliate each other. You know, you on Facebook hunting for coochie. You know, dick dancing and shit, looking for somebody to hook up with because you're trying to fill a void from outside of your body. When you start to love yourself more, you enjoy your company. People always used to talk shit about me. Oh, you just gonna be a lonely, single bitch, dyke, bull, dagger, gay bitch the rest of your life. You know what? But I love me, though. I love me. I like being to myself. I enjoy being solitary. I spend a lot of time alone. I absolutely love it. I meditate. I dig in the dirt. I walk my dog. I do all kind of stuff alone. Exercise, do art projects, knit, crochet, read. You know, but motherfuckers quick to call me fake. Why? Because I can see right through your motherfucking ass because I'm smart enough not to fall for the okie doke. Is that why? I would rather be alone, single, than to be with some of y'all motherfuckers. You feel me? I mean, I'm just telling the truth. But, you know, not that it's any of your business. You know, who I pair up with is none of your fucking business. And the one that I have paired up with is somebody that I am so very grateful he found me. I'm very grateful he found me because he is my twin. And that's a rare gift to have your twin find you in this fucked up world. And anybody that have something to say about, oh, you gonna always be an old, bitter old bitch. You know what? Fuck you. You just mad because you would never have a chance. That's why they say shit like that. So I'm just here to help y'all see the delusional, dysfunctional folk and the people who support them ain't no better. You know, you got women who are in dysfunctional relationships who don't know that they have Stockholm syndrome. They don't know it. They're trapped and they don't know how to get out. I was in one of them type of situations before. Luckily, I'm a natural psychologist, so they say to mirror your abuser, and that's exactly what the fuck I did, and that nigga left quick. I was so happy to see them divorce papers. I had a divorce party. Yes, I did. So the information is here. You got Ryan, you got me, you got lots of empaths here. We do it to help others and we charge for it. But Roxy is an empath too, very wise woman. Can help a lot of people. The information is right here. We can do a lot for each other. But you know what? It's pride and ego was keeping us apart. I say that all the time, and it's the goddamn truth. Pride and ego. Pride comes before destruction, and destruction comes before the fall. I don't know if anybody even really listened to that. Good. Welcome back, girly. I was just talking about you in front of your back. Oh, boy, how much I love you, and we connected instantly. You can have soulmates of all different varieties. It don't have to be your romantic soulmate. We have many soulmates. Many, many, many soulmates. Ryan is my soulmate. I'm convinced Roxy is my soulmate. I got lots of soulmates. All my children are my soulmates. We connect on so many different levels, especially my youngest. He's my Virgo twin. He was born a week before my birthday, and we don't ever argue. We don't ever fuss at each other. He has never, ever in 21 years disrespected me as his mama. Never. He has not talked back to me. He never cussed me, never called me out my name. Now, he may have muttered some stuff under his breath in his mind or whatever, but he never, ever, ever disrespected his mother. And I'm very, very proud of that. Of course, he did little silly teenage shit. He may have snuck out after curfew, did whatever, smoked some weed, whatever. But I'm glad I'm adopted. That's an honor. I love it. And I'm very proud to be your adopted auntie. I'm do my best and make you proud too. I hope Ryan didn't give me away because he adopted me too. But that's awesome. I love it, I've always built my own family though, because my damn family is so fucking dysfunctional. You hear me talk about my crazy ass mom and daddy all the time. I've always had to adopt my own family or be adopted into a family because I'm the black sheep. I'm the mouth, as you can see. I'm the truth teller. I'm the terrorist of the family because people don't want to hear the truth, Absolutely. I love being adopted. I need all the love I can get. I don't throw away no good. I embrace everything good. And it's a wonderful gift to be loved like that. I hold that very special. Very, very special. And I'm just a loyal person. I don't believe, in some timey fair weather shit. When somebody say they love you, and if I say I love you, that's ongoing until. It don't matter if you make a mistake, you piss me off, long as you don't cross me, long as you don't try to hurt me, stab me in the back, and do some disloyal shit. That's the only way you can trace me away. No, I don't have no fans. I'm not famous. I don't have fans. I have I have acquaintances and I have family. But I don't have no fans. I'm not no celebrity. I'm just me, a normal everyday person. I just try to share what I know and use my gifts for good. That's all I can do. And I don't think I'm no special, no nothing, no above nobody else, but I know I behave better than a whole lot of these niggas on here. I know my behavior is better. But it don't do you no harm to be good and kind. Kindness is free. Kindness is free. Love is free. You have to earn it. in other ways, but it don't cost nothing. You don't have to spend no money to love somebody. You know, if they show themselves approved, love is free. You don't have to be a shitty person. You know what I'm saying? Coming online just because you've been bullied, so you want to come try to fuck with folks and bully other people. Hurt people hurt people. You know, if you hurting, don't come over here and shit on me, because you know what? I got a shovel, and I'll show that shit right back to you. Return to sender. Nobody's here to be a whooping post. Nobody was built for abuse. Nobody is entitled to take shit off of anybody, you know. And I am the way that I am because I know what it's like to be out here with nobody. I know what it's like to have people turn their back on you, your own family, because they just don't like you, because you tell the truth, because you won't allow them to abuse you, because you turn yourself around and go, you know what, I don't deserve this shit, family or not. I'm gonna live my life and don't give a fuck what you think. I shouldn't have to follow a protocol in order for you to accept me. I shouldn't have to be a Christian in order for you to love me. I shouldn't have to dress a certain way in order for you to accept me as your daughter or your sister or your whatever. You know, that's the whole thing now. That's the whole problem now with society. People care too much what other people think. And you judging your own family members, your own DNA. You judging, looking down your nose at this one and that one because you go to that church and I don't, or you drink and you're supposed to be a Christian, you smoke cigarettes or whatever. You know, the world is filled with prejudgmental people. You know, we waste so much time trying to compare notes and trying to one up the next one. Our soul is lost. We look up at the end of the day and don't even know who we are and what our purpose is in life. You got people who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s who don't even know what their purpose is or was in life. It's a was. Once you become 70, 80 years old, it's a what was my purpose, because you in your golden years then. You know, it's people in their 40s who come to me for a life coaching consultation. I don't know what I want to do. I want to do something. I know I'm driven to do something, but I don't know what. They need help finding themselves. Why? First thing you ask yourself is, why did it take you so long to look for your purpose? Why? Because we've been programmed to put ourselves last. Just like when we were brought over here, just like those of us who were already here before colonization, our oppressors came and taught us to put ourselves last. Serve me first, then what's left over, you can have it. We are programmed that way. And that's the most ass backwards way you can look at your life. It's humble to serve yourself last. If you can't fill up your own cup and you can't maintain and take care of yourself, you don't have shit to share. That go for your kids, mothers, especially mothers and fathers. Mothers put themselves last all the motherfucking time. And people say, that's a selfish bitch. She just got up, had a baby, started working out. She got her little, boob job lift. I didn't say implants. I said lift. That's not selfish. That's not selfish. If you feel uncomfortable with what your baby has stretched out your breast, you can lift them back up there. You're not putting nothing foreign inside of there. You just lifting them back up to where they was. I see Black women do that all the time, especially if they're in a cosmetic field industry, acting, singing, dancing. A lot of people do that. You don't have to put implants in your button ass to keep it real. I have a very good college friend who had 2 sets of twins. Babies do a lot to our body, She just didn't feel right. She worked out. She did what she had to do. She got herself back in shape. It takes the female body 1 year and 6 months to heal from natural birth. Breastfeeding. She was on bed rest for many, many months. And then she said, you know what? I'm going to get a little nipped up, get back the way to the way I was. I want to feel comfortable again. And she looks beautiful. You would never know it. Not any foreign anything in her body. She had a beautiful surgeon. He was an artist, if you ask me. He did a beautiful job. Lifted her bosom and tucked her around the waist a little bit. No cutting, no taking tummy tuck. All natural. And it looks very beautiful. She looks beautiful and she's strong. And I mean, now you can't even tell she had 4 babies back to back. We have to put ourselves, have a healthy selfishness. We have got to take care of ourselves. That's why you see all these crazy people running around on and offline, fucking with folk, because they are lost. They are hurting. They're not putting themselves first. They think they're doing something because they can come over here and shit on, talk shit about, and come and create drama and talk shit. Oh, I did something. Look, I disrupted that chat. I went over there and called her a bitch. They think they're doing something productive, and they're not. They really just hurting themselves because they're making a fool of themselves to anybody in their right mind. Those that support that kind of shit, they're just as sick as they are. Just as sick. And anybody that can support making light of somebody's misfortune, whether how big or small it is, that's a really twisted individual. But you see it all the time. See it all the time. That's another reason why I'm so very private. And the people around me, I keep them very close. I don't say shit about none of my friends. And if I run into somebody, I meet, so I don't use names. I don't use dates, times. No, I'm like, this is what happened. It's a situation. I'm very, very vague for a reason. Not because I have something to hide, because I'm protecting what's mine. And what's mine is the children and the people around me who love me. That's what's mine. They freely given me their love. And it's my job to protect that. And if I want to hold on to their trust, I'm not going to divulge their intimate, personal effects. That's what true friendship and love is. You protect each other as well as give and reciprocate. A lot of people don't know what friendship is. A lot of people don't know what love is. And they come online searching for something to sink their teeth in, searching for somebody to destroy. Now you got groups of motherfuckers banding together doing the shit. You know? So y'all be careful of these delusional niggas and their dysfunctional supporters. Be careful. Because they will reel you in, and before you know it, you got a whole bucket of leeches all over you. And they'll try to make you think you did something wrong when you hold them accountable for their actions or lack thereof. So I think I done ran my mouth long enough. How long we been on this thing? Let me see. Probably been on here for a while. So, but it was a joy to come back and see my little peoples, you know, and just connect with y'all. That's true, Roxy. A lot of them that are the new. You're right. You're right. You know, and it's on purpose too, though. You know, they do this shit on purpose. They throw rock, hide their hand, and create all kind of drama that don't need to be there and sit back and laugh. You know? But I'm going to go grab a bite for my tribe over here so we could eat a little food. And I might be back a little later. We might come back a little bit later and do another one. A little bit shorter, though, because I got some other stuff I want to do. And I want to share an experience with you also that I just had regarding this this interview that I just wasted my time on. But y'all be good, and thank you again, family. I love you, and peace out. One love, one family, one unity. Y'all be good, be safe out there, Ryan. Them storms, And I take care. I'll come back and probably touch down and do another one later this evening. Love y'all. Peace out.